ॐ भूर्भुवः स्वः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात्. ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः. Namaste my dear friends. In this video I am going to narrate Nādabindu Upanishad of Rigveda. The syllable A is considered to be the bird Om's right wing, U its left, M its tail, and the Ardha mātrā half meter is said to be its head. The Rajasic and Tamasic qualities its feet upwards to the loins, Sattva its main body, Dharma is considered to be its right eye and Adharma its left. The Bhurloka is situated in its feet, the Bhuvar Loka in its knees, the Suvarloka in its loins, and the Maharloka in its navel. In its heart is situated the Janaloka, the Tapoloka in its throat, and the Satyaloka in the center of the forehead between the eyebrows. Then the mātrā or mantra beyond the Sahasrara, 1000 read is explained, which should be explained. An adept in yoga who bestrides the haṃsa bird thus, which contemplates on Om, is not affected by karmic influences or by tens of crores of sins. The first mātrā has Agni as its devata, presiding deity, the second Vayu as its devata, the next mātrā is resplendent like the sphere of the sun, and the last, the Ardha mātrā, the wise, known as belonging to Varuna, the presiding deity of water. Each of these mātrās has indeed 3 kalas parts. This is called Omkara. Know it by means of the dharanas, which concentration on each of the 12 kalas or the variations of the mātrās produced by the difference of savras or intonation. The first mātrā is called Ghoṣini, the second Vidyunmali or Vidyumātrā, the third Patanjini, the fourth Vayujini, the fifth Namdhya, the sixth Andri, the seventh Vaishnavi, the eighth Sankari, the ninth Mahati, the 10th Dhriti, Dhruva, Calcutta, etc. The 11th Nari, Moni, Calcutta, ED, and the 12th Brahmani. If a person happens to die in the first mātrā while contemplating on it, he is born again as a great emperor in Bharatvarsha. If in the second mātrā he becomes an illustrious yaksha, if in the third mātrā a Vidyadhara, if in the fourth a Gandharva, these 3 being the celestial host. If he happens to die in the fifth, which Ardha mātrā, he lives in the world of the moon with the rank of a deva, greatly glorified there. If in the sixth he merges into Indra, If in the seventh he reaches the seat of Vishnu, if in the eighth Rudra, the Lord of all creatures, if in the ninth in Maharloka, if in the 10th in Janaloka, Dhruvaloka, if in the 11th Tapoloka, and if in the 12th he attains the eternal state of Brahma. That which is beyond these, which Prabrahma, which is beyond the above mātrās, the pure, the all-pervading, beyond kalas, the ever resplendent, and the source of all jyotis, lights should be known when the mind goes beyond the organs and the gunas and is absorbed, having no separate existence and no mental action. Then the Guru should instruct him as to his further course of development. That person always engaged in its contemplation and always absorbed in it should gradually leave off his body or family, following the course of yoga and avoiding all intercourse with society. Then he, being freed from the bonds of karma and the existence as a jiva, and being pure, enjoys the supreme bliss by his attaining of the state of Brahma. O intelligent man, spend your life always in the knowing of the supreme bliss, enjoying the whole of your prarabdha, that portion of past karma now being enjoyed without making any complaint of it. Even after Atma knowledge of Atma or self, has awakened in one prarabdha, does not leave him, but he does not feel prarabdha after the dawning of Tattva-jnana, knowledge of Tattva or truth, because the body and other things are asat, unreal, like the things seen in a dream to one on awaking from it. That portion of the karma which is done in former births and called prarabdha does not at all affect the person Tattva-jnani, as there is no rebirth to him. As the body that exists in the dreaming state is untrue, so is this body. Where then is rebirth to a thing that is illusory? How can a thing have an existence when there is no birth to it? As the clay is the material cause of the pot, so one learns from Vedanta that Ajnana is the material cause of the universe, and when Ajnana ceases to exist, where then is the cosmos? As a person through illusion mistakes a rope for a serpent, so the fool, not knowing Satya, the eternal truth, sees the world to be true. When he knows it to be a piece of rope, the illusory idea of a serpent vanishes. So, when he knows the eternal substratum of everything and all the universe becomes therefore void to him, where then is prarabdha to him? The body being a part of the world, therefore the world prarabdha is accepted to enlighten the ignorant only. Then as prarabdha has in course of time worn out, he who is the sound resulting from the union of Pranava with Brahma, who is the absolute effulgence itself and who is the bestower of all good, shines himself like the sun at the dispersion of the clouds. The yogi, being in the Siddhasana posture and practicing the Vaisrama mudra, should always hear the internal sound through the right ear. The sound which he thus practices makes him deaf to all external sounds. Having overcome all obstacles, he enters the Turiya state within 15 days. In the beginning of his practice, he hears many loud sounds. They gradually increase in pitch and are heard more and more subtly. At first, the sounds are like those proceeding from the ocean, clouds, kettle drum, and cataracts. In the middle stage, those proceeding from mardala, a musical instrument, bell, and horn. At the last stage, those proceeding from tinkling bells, flute, veena, a musical instrument, and bees. Thus he hears many such sounds more and more subtle. When he comes to that stage, when the sound of the great kettle drum is being heard, he should try to distinguish only sounds more and more subtle. He may change his concentration from the gross sound to the subtle or from the subtle to the gross, but he should not allow his mind to be diverted from them towards others. The mind, having at first concentrated itself on any one sound, fixes firmly to that and is absorbed in it. The mind becoming insensible to the external impressions becomes one with the sound as milk with water and then becomes rapidly absorbed in Chidakas, the Akas where Chit prevails, being indifferent towards all objects. The yogi, having controlled his passions, should by continual practice concentrates his attention upon the sound which destroys the mind. Having abandoned all thoughts and being freed from all actions, he should always concentrate his attention on the sound and then his chitta becomes absorbed in it. Just as the bee drinking the honey alone does not care for the odor, so the chitta, which is always absorbed in sound, does not long for sensual objects as it is bound by the sweet smell of nāda and has abandoned its fleeting nature. The serpent chitta, through listening to the nāda, is entirely absorbed in it and becoming unconscious of everything concentrates itself on the sound. The sound serves the purpose of a sharp goad to control the maddened elephant, that is chitta, which rose in the pleasure garden of the sensual objects. It serves the purpose of a snare for binding the deer chitta. It also serves the purpose of a shore to the ocean waves of chitta. The sound proceeding from Pranava, which is Brahma, is of the nature of effulgence. The mind becomes absorbed in it. That is the supreme seat of Vishnu. The sound exists till there is the Akasic conception, Akasa Sankalpa. Beyond this is the as of the soundless pra, Parabrahma, which is Paramatma. The mind exists so long as there is sound, but with its sound's cessation, there is the state called Unmani of Manas, which the state of being above the mind. The sound is absorbed in the akshara, indestructible, and the soundless state is the supreme seat. The mind, which along with prana, vayu, has its karmic affinities destroyed by the constant concentration upon nāda, is absorbed in the unstained one. There is no doubt of it. Many myriads of nādas and many more of bindus all become absorbed in the Brahma Pranava sound. Being freed from all states and all the thoughts whatever, the yogi remains like one dead. He is a mukta. There is no doubt about this. After that, he does not at any time hear the sounds of conch or dudumbi, large cattle drum. The body in the state of Unmani is certainly like a log and does not feel heat or cold, joy or sorrow. The yogin's chitta, having given up fame or disgrace, is in samadhi above the three states. Being freed from the waking and the sleeping states, he attains to his true state. When the spiritual sight becomes fixed without any object to be seen, when the vayu prana becomes still without any effort, and when the chitta becomes firm without any sport, he becomes of the form of internal sound of Brahma Pranava. Such is the Upanishad. Further explanation of Nādabindu Upanishad. Nādabindu Upanishad is the 38th of 108 Upanishads and forms part of the Rig Veda. Nāda is the sound heard in the ear during deep meditation. Bindu means the dot. It also means the drop, the sperm and the starting point. The sound of Om is the starting point of the cosmos. Cosmos begins out of Bindu and dissolves into Bindu. Nādabindu Upanishad is the philosophy of the sound Om. Vairaja Pranava. Vairaja means the son of Virat Purusha. Virat Purusha is the Brahma in the form of the whole universe. Pranava is the general name for various versions of mantra Om. Hence, Vairaja Pranava is a specific version of Om. The Upanishad starts with the explanation of the Vairaja Pranava. Vairaja Pranava, the Upanishad says, is the king of birds. The right wing of the bird is the letter A, the left wing is the letter U, the tail is the letter M, its head is ardha mātrā, half mantra, its leg and terminal point are three gunas, sattva, rajas and tamas. Its body is truth. Its right eye is right conducts. Its left eye is wrong conducts. Its feet, knees, hip, navel, heart, throat, and the point between the brows are the seven realms or planes of existence. Vairaja Vidya, the meditation technique explanation here is Vairaja Vidya. One can get rid of all his sins through the mastery of Vairaja Vidya. The forms of Pranava are two. One is 4 mantra Pranava and the other one is 12 mantra Pranava. One mantra is a time scale of 4 seconds. Mātrā first, symbol A, relates Agni, fire. Second mātrā, symbol U, relates Vayu, air. Third mātrā, M, relates to sun. Fourth mātrā, symbol ardhamatra, relates to Varuna. This is Omkara. Those who do not understand this can make a dharana, deep meditation for a better understanding. 12 Mātrā Pranava. The Upanishad gives a distinctive name for each of the 12 Mātrās and the place where the practitioner will go if he parts his life at any of the 12 Mātrās. Mātrā first, name Ghoshini. Next incarnation, an emperor. Second Mātrā, name Vidyut. Next incarnation, Yaksha. Third Mātrā, Patanjini. Next incarnation, Vidyadhara. Fourth Mātrā, name Vayu Vegini. Next incarnation, Gandharva. Fifth Mātrā, name Nāmadheya. Next incarnation, Deva. Sixth Mātrā, Andri. Next incarnation, Indra. Seventh Mātrā, name Vaishnavi. Next incarnation, Vishnu. Eighth Mātrā, name Samkari. Next incarnation, Rudra. Ninth Mātrā, name Mahati. Next incarnation, in the Maharloka. 10th Mātrā, name Dharti. Next incarnation, in the Maharloka. 10th Dharti. Next incarnation, in the Jano Loka. 11th Mātrā, name Nari. Next incarnation, in the Tapo Loka. 12th Mātrā, name Brahmi. Next incarnation, Brahmanhood. Mahavraja Vidya. One who is accomplished in Vairaja Vidya will be eligible to opt for Mahavairaja Vidya. His mind should be fixed on the Brahma. Having set aside ignorance and attachment, he should become consciousness alone. He will attain ecstasy and enjoy the never-ending bliss. Karma. When Atma starts knowing the truth, the results of the past actions have already begun. There will not be any escape from the results since the results have already begun. But after realization, there is no body or mind. Consciousness, karma will become non-existence. The results will not bind the Atma. It is like wrongly identifying rope as a snake. After realizing the rope as mere rope, the snake disappears. After realization, Atma identifies itself as Brahma and not as a mere body. Then karma will cease to exist. The absence of karma will result in absence of further incarnations. Varja with the modus operandi. First, assume Siddhasana. Second, assume Vaishnavi Mudra. Keep your eyes wide without twinkling. Third, listen to the sound of the right ear. For the first time, many sounds may be heard. Practicing further and further, subtler sounds will be heard. At first, sounds of the ocean waves, then clouds, thunder, waterfall, tabor, big bell, military drum, twinkling bell, flute, and wasp. These sounds will be heard on persistent practice. Only the subtler sounds should be listened to in the presence of multiple sounds. Fourth, you should forget everything except the most subtle sound. You should forget the outside world and become one with the sound. Finally, the mind will merge with sound. As long as the sound is there, so long as the mind, when the sound ceases, the mind ceases too. The constant application of the nāda of Pranava, the mind, prāṇa, and ātman will merge. You won't hear any more sounds. You will be liberated and become a videha mukta. Thus ends Nādabindu Upanishad. Om Tat Sat. Thank you for watching this video. Namaskar, my dear friends. Thank you.